that's neither here nor there. Whatever Stanley worked out,
people. Let's get this right.
the best leads. So listen, Stanley, whatever Stanley cooked up behind the scenes, him and Lucas, to go ahead and generate these mortgage leads. I mean, listen, everybody's receptive. It's just different conversations that they're having over there. So definitely adding Sean, to that division is definitely going to go ahead and, spruce it up. So I just want to clap it up for Sean.
You still got to give credit to the community also sending in deals that we could fund. Because remember, a lot of these are deals coming from you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Very true.
Yep. So listen, really quick. So episode 21 is it's gonna be about pipeline pressure, right? How top brokers handle cold streaks. Jose Martinez. What's up? Yo, shout out to my boy Jose. He couldn't make it this evening.
Ice got him. Don't worry, we're gonna break him out. We're gonna break him out.
He's gonna be back
by next podcast.
Well, we'll see. Jose's son is home from college. His name is Jose B. Okay. Yeah. So Jose couldn't make it here tonight, but he's here in spirit and he's in the chat. Shout out to my boy Jose.
All right. Don't worry, we'll put money in your commissary. It's on your books.
Yeah. See, Amanda said, "Where's Jose?" Amanda, I'm sorry he couldn't be here this evening, but you will see him on Tuesday. Sean Coleman, Sean called me in the chat as always.
What's up, Sean? What's up, Sean?
All right, so really quick, for the brokers that are really stuck in a slump, no calls, no closings, no confidence. Here's the truth: every top producer has been there. Difference. They don't fold, they Oh, what's up, Roger? What's up, Roger James? No, you're good. You're good, brother. How are you this evening?
Welcome.
Roger? All right. So really quick, listen, phones aren't ringing, clients are dark. You're sitting in the CRM full of silence. This is the cold streak. It happens to every single one of us, every single division, every aspect of sales, not even just what we do. Yeah. And every broker hits one. But not every broker gets out. That's usually what makes or breaks a good salesperson, right? Some people quit on the cold streak.
They tap out.
Then they go do something else. Stanley, Jose, these guys are they tell us all the time, if this is not for you, you can go get a 9-to-5 somewhere else. They're old people. There's a lot of companies, major corporations that are always hiring, right? To do this, to do what we do, to sit in our seats, pound the phones, speak to these clients day in and day out. It takes a certain type of character, as well as you guys out there as well. Okay, you guys that are members of Brokers Connection, you guys are getting your 1,000 leads a month. You guys are pounding the phones as well. It's not just us. You guys are doing it as well, right? So we're in the same jungle as you guys, right? We're not doing anything different than you guys are doing. We're on the phones, 9 to 6. Stanley's on the phone. Stanley and Joe really are on the phone starting at like 7 in the morning all the way to like 12 at night. I know these guys are always running. So, we're right here with you guys. But again, everybody hits a cold streak. So again, here on Tequila Thursday, we don't panic when the pipeline freezes. We turn pressure into power. So grab your shot glass, grab your drink. Sean Colby, hopefully you over here chefing it up, just like you are every weekend.
Cooking some like olive vodka or something.
Yeah, always. That Chef Sean. And
bolognese or hand helper or whatever.
Make a helper.
Tequila Thursday. See, and let's discuss this evening how top brokers snap out of slumps. All right, and turn cold streaks into comeback seasons. All right, so let's cheers it up, guys. Cheers it up, boys.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers it up.
Cheers.
Now, listen, this evening I want to have it really, like I told you guys before, I want to really gauge this.
Pork bolognese, I was right. I thought it was beef, but it was pork.
Pork bolognese.
All right. Pull that out.
Yeah, so I want to really
never had pork bolognese, but it's not right.
We when Jose's here, him and I usually steal the show and we really start talking about business funny. We never really give you guys like your own pod to really discuss the ins and outs of the real estate business.
That's not true. Every time I'm here, I run it.
Whoa.
Anyway.
Whoa.
So this evening, again, I'm glad that you guys, we have a star-studded cast full of fun rock people. So I really want this to be gauged more towards real estate this evening. All right. So
we want questions. This isn't gonna be a I want questions. I want scenarios. Give us real life scenarios. We want it back and forth. You know what I mean?
Ooh, Roger James. Strong.
Yes. Yep. That's what I thought. Okay. So the question I have there, see, that's a unique situation, right? Because tribal land it's in America, but it's a carve out, right? And it depends on what laws can be enforced space. So if I'm correct, this was out East Long Island, correct? Yeah, it was like Hamptons or something like that. Yeah, that's east. That's out east. That's on the far end of Long Island. Because me and Jose pulled it up, and I think they're more of like a convenience place where they put cigarettes, and a lot of places people go to buy cigarettes that they don't pay taxes.
Is that like Mastic? I know Mastic.
Nah,
Is a-
No. So Mastic is one reservation. That's the Puspatug, but in out east in the Hamptons, that's the Shinnecock reservation.
So Puss in Shinnecock. You
I'm-
said it. I did.
Watch your mouth. This is a family show.
I'm telling you the names of the tribes, bro.
Those are ancient tribal names.
Yeah.
Put some respect.
So
we're looking more into it. That's what I said when we first looked at the business end of it, and I saw the asset. But I sort of had a feeling had to do with Indian reservation. A lot of these people, a lot of lenders always look at worst case situation. I would have to see the guidelines and rules. If God forbid they default, what power they have to seize the asset. That's what I have to check. But
Okay.
we're on it.
good. All right. So let's get brutally real. Your deals didn't dry up overnight. You just stopped feeding the beast. All right. There's a couple of top reasons or top things that kill pipelines, right? Calling leads and not qualifying them. Now I know, Stanley, that on the business financing side, we have our intake sheet, right? We ask them about minimum revenue, right? We ask them credit score, obviously, and also if they have any current advances, any other loans out, right?
Okay.
So on the real estate side, what do you guys do, or what questions do you guys ask to really qualify somebody to see if, well, obviously it's all program based, like what they're looking to do, right? But what's some of the questions that you would ask somebody on like a fix and flip?
Let's let Joe take that.
Joe?
All right, on a fix and flip, I'm searching for some experience, first of all. So let's say you're buying a property for $500K, $150K renovation. Have you done something similar in the past? Are you on the HUDs or settlement statements from past properties? I'm going to look to see what type of money you have in reserves. Because depending on your experience, if you have a lot of experience, you're going to put down less potentially. You could put down 10%, maybe 15%. If you're very experienced, we have 100% financing, purchase, and
Talk
the
to
rehab.
him.
So, experience is big. If you got experience, it's definitely going to work in your favor. Also,
Hold that. You said experience. Sean, what else do you look for?
Look for credit score. We're going to ask them what the rehab budget is going to look like, and then what the after repair value is going to be after the rehab is completed. That's very important. And then obviously we're also going to ask them too, do you own any investment properties? Have you done any ground up construction? All those questions can, influence the rate and the approval on the deal.
Is he missing out on anything, Sean? Joe?
I like to see a bank statement like soon as possible, because a lot of people say I have 100,000 and they have nothing,
Well,
That's true.
Also, maybe we've been doing soft pulls lately up front, so just to make sure they're qualified.
Credit,
make sure we're not wasting anyone's time for the right program, because higher score, better programs most of the time. So
It's funny you say that, because when I receive an app on the business funding side, if they have a 650 or above, I always pull the credit, right? Because certain A paper lenders, you have to have a 635 or above, right? I know that if it's below that, then I know that there's other lenders that I need to go to. So I do pull it. Now, you'll see on somebody's application, they'll put that their credit score is 650. You pull the credit, it's 540.
Yeah.
Right? So,
it's the same, man. It's the same.
Yeah. You always have to, with regards to submitting and placing deals, finding out that credit score is monumental, especially up front, right? Because you don't want to do all the work and all this, and next thing you know, it comes out to the finish line. The guy's a 500.
Right.
I told you that he was at like a 680, right? So that
It's happened to me multiple times. So,
it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. You know, I just had a guy yesterday I was speaking to. He had a couple properties he wanted priced out. He's like, yeah, I got a 680. I'm like, all right, great. And then I actually followed up with him today, and he's like, well, can you check? So I go through Experian, and he had a 631.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it turns out he really didn't have any idea he had a recent collection. So that brought him down to a 631. But that is going to have a significant impact.
Another thing I want to add, because people don't realize that Experian, that's a FICO 8 score.
Mm-hmm.
When mortgage gets pulled, like when you get your credit pulled for a mortgage, it's a FICO 2. It's a completely different score. So I had a client, he sent me his Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion from Experian.com.
Right.
670, 680. We got the appraisal in, got everything in. When we did that hard pull towards the end, his FICO 2 was a 575.
Jeez.
Wow. Yeah, it's a different
That's a game changer.
it's a different matrix that they look at.
Luckily, his wife had a great score. We pulled it. She's like 690, so it saved the deal. But yeah, even if Credit Karma says this, Experian says that, it's not necessarily the same score
that they're going to use to determine their approval. Right.
Sean Colby actually put a scenario in the chat really quick. I guess he said the purchase price is 300,000, rehab is about 10K, ARV, which I learned the other day is after repair value, right? That's what it says. All right, cool. Estimated loan balance is 250K. Exit is a buy and hold. Credit score 705. Looking to do 50 to 80K.
So my question is, do they own the property or are they looking to purchase it?
Sounds like mid construction.
Yes. It seems like they were in the middle of the rehab and their loan came to maturity, and now they're trying to pay off the first flip loan and get into another one.
Yep.
Sure. This is a live deal. You said you sent that to underwriting today.
What do you mean? Unmute yourself if you could, Sean.
Said some dialogue.
What's up,
brother? What's up, brother?
What's up, Sean?
Walk us through this deal. Don't want to sit here and assume. Walk me through this deal. Walk everyone through this deal.
The pork bolognese. No, Sean. Sean. So that deal you got in today and you submitted it? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to work this guy, get him off. It's like getting him off heroin, get him off private lending, give him like credit, business credit, something that the investors don't think that way. They always say private money partner, 100% financing, right? And then they don't always call. They don't have collateral. So looking at something.
Okay.
The last I heard, so.
I know I ran off, but Joe, let's do Sean because he's new on the department. When you see that app, what are you thinking right there? You heard what he said. What are you thinking?
Well, I mean, from the initial, it sounds like he is still looking for rehab money, but he already has a balance. So it sounds like it's mid construction.
Is that all you're thinking?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What did you say, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Does have a hard money lender that is giving him, he's come to 550 to 80, so he's probably got, 8, well, less than 80%.
Joe, if you saw this app, what would you do?
I mean, looking at it, because it says loan balance. So if he's looking to purchase the property, there wouldn't be a loan balance. Like, to me, it looks like he already started the rehab,
right?
And he owes money on the property. He's looking to get out of one bridge loan, get into another bridge loan. That's what it looks like to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at this different.
Yeah.
You shouldn't look to take them off the crack. You could accelerate the crack, right? Because think about it. You have Lemate and Fund Rock Capital.
Yeah.
The moment I see a score of 705,
He's thinking business.
Lemate Fund Rock came together.
Mm.
So now I could go, a lot of lenders will go, you know what, for me to do this deal, I'm probably going to want you to put 10, 20, 30% down, to 20, 30,000 down. But a 705 score, I go get him business funding. That becomes his gap to keep him alive. Because the thing is, if he defaults on that loan, he's dead in the water.
Right.
That client's not worth anything. But now you become Superman because now you brought the capital so he can get the financing so he can live to fight another day.
Yep.
Guess who he's calling next time he needs to do a deal? You. Exactly. So that's why I tell people, always look at both companies. When they're together, it accelerates. There's not one real estate investor you're ever going to meet that wouldn't take more money. Because they might do one deal a year.
So
now
there's
they
something
could
they
do
can do with it,
two
right?
because of you. Because they might do 2,
100%.
but now they could do 4 because of you. So no matter... You're not going to be a 7-5 with a max. You're not gonna be a 7-5 with a max. You might have one card at a high balance, but there's always balance transfers.
Yeah, or like you guys are talking about something different than what he sees on credit timeline or something.
So yeah, for
Yeah.
something like this, we would have to find out if he put any work into the property, if he did, how much, like what he originally paid for it. So I think you'd be better off first exploring, like Stanley was saying, something on the Lemate side, maybe no income doc. Does he bring in any revenue on the business side if his utilization is too high? So maybe if he's got bank statements or tax returns. And then worst case scenario, maybe he's got a job, he gets W-2. So then from there, he can maybe get a personal loan, because for that amount, it would probably be easiest to go on that side, or either the business or personal. And then as a last resort, we would have to get a little more information to see if we can do like a mid-construction bridge. And then from there, give him the money to help him finish the work on the house.
Now, listen, ladies and gentlemen, really quick. I know Stanley said that he wanted you guys to give scenarios, right? But realistically, that's for our live dive on Tuesdays, where you guys, where you guys can bring all your scenarios, and we can really take like an hour or 2 hours to really go over the intricacies and the ins and outs of the deals. But kind of want to stay on target tonight, right? Because we always go off script.
My bad.
No, don't worry about it. We always go off script, but tonight, the guys in the background, you guys don't really see too often. Albert and Lucas, they actually cooked up, some good conversation points for this evening. And I think it's something that we all kind of go through, right? Like how to emotionally detach from deal outcomes, right? There's been plenty of times where, and Sean, you and I have experienced this a couple times, right? Where we had like a big deal, right? That we thought was going to close, everything was going to go. We're counting commission already, and then fucking at the very last second, deal dies, right? When you were on the business funding aspect of this, what's some of the things that you did to almost like detach from like that heartbreak of that big deal dying? Like, what did you do to kind of woosah? Don't say edibles when you get home, because that's not an answer, right?
I know what you're talking about.
What did you do like in the moment, in the office, to just detach and then make sure that the very next person that you called was like your best phone call of the day? Like, what's something that you did to kind of get over that emotion?
Right. Well, something I do is, when we're at the finish line and then, the contracts are signed and it seems like they're sending in the closing steps and it's looking good, I still don't count my chickens before they hatch completely. So I never fully expect that money to be in my bank account for that commission check. But obviously it's still disappointing, right? So I take a step back. I might, take a little walk, do some exercises that night, take a few deep breaths, and I go harder the next day, right?
Yeah.
I just try to be more aggressive the next day to compensate, to, bring in more leads, have more conversations. And that's really what I do. With this type of industry, it takes a different breed of person. You it's a roller coaster. Every week's gonna be different. You're gonna have your highs where it's a joy, and then you're gonna have weeks where it's just total frustration and you're swinging at the air. So you know, you have to really emotionally detach yourself. You're gonna get a lot of no's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just have to be able to endure that. And remember, you can have one good yes, and that can totally change your month.
Yeah.
So I always keep that in perspective.
Clap it up for that. Joe, what's what's something that you do on the real estate side to really have like a mental reset after like there's like you go like a month with no closings or something like that? Like what do you do? Like you seem to power through adversity almost the best in the office, right? And you let defeats just roll off your shoulder and you always come in with a smile every day. What's something that you do to really like mentally reset yourself like when you're almost in a slump?
I mean, I think about just like, life could be worse, honestly. I mean,
Mm.
I do what I love in a great office full of great people.
Yeah.
The main thing, a wise man once told me, focus on volume. Some guy named Stanley was like, 'cause there is a time I'd be focused on just one or two huge deals.
Mm.
Like, I see a $5 million deal, I put all my time
Yes.
and energy. Like, I need this to close. I'm counting how much money I'm gonna make. And then when that deal closes, your soul shatters.
I said my show.
Yo, yeah.
The main thing is just a numbers game. Like, exactly. Like, you got to detach yourself from the outcome, do your best, take care of your client. Even if the deal dies, that client may have a deal a couple weeks later that'll work out. He may have a referral for you. So
Yeah, and just to piggyback of Joe, because he kind of reminded me of something. Like you may have, 1-2 deals with strong approvals, and they're looking really good. Don't get content in that state. Continue calling. Keep the volume coming in. You always want that safety net, because if something doesn't work out, you want to have as much in your pipeline to fall back on.
Correct.
like, just real quick, today I had someone reach out to me, another affiliate that I haven't spoken to in maybe like 5 months. $1.35 million deal she brought across my table, across my desk. So we're able to get the client hopefully like 85-90% financing. He's only getting 80 everywhere else. So
that's big.
You just got to keep smiling, dialing, keep focused, keep with the same energy and effort every day, and it'll come back to you.
Correct.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, remember, you don't break a slump with hope, right? You break it with systems. I know for sure that one of the things that Sean is going to bring from the business funding side to the real estate side and the mortgage side is he doesn't just call people, right? Sean is a big person. He sends a fuck ton of text messages.
That's a fact.
And he sends emails. Sometimes I look and there's like a whole college essay is on his screen that he's writing to somebody, but he gets answers, right? So when you're in a slump, try to switch it up, right? Try to call at different times of the day. It like we have email marketing that we do here, right? Sometimes I've communicated with people via email. They never spoke to them on the phone and sold the deal, right? Because sometimes people just don't want to talk to you, right? They want to almost like, it's just like Amazon. Like, I don't want to have to go into a store like PC Richards or Best Buy, something like that, and have somebody sell me a TV. I want to sit on my couch and I want to look at specs and I want to order my TV online. Sometimes that's how people want to purchase money and buy things, right? So again, if you feel like you're pounding your leads and you're calling them and it's not working, shoot them a text. A lot of people, and I know me, I don't really, well, now that I'm in this industry, I have to, but I don't answer numbers that I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to understand that people that are business owners, people that are out there that are doing fix and flip stuff like that, they might not answer the phone because they don't know the number, right?
Or they're busy.
Yeah,
they're business owners.
Out of state zip codes,
right? What the hell am I gonna? Why am I gonna answer a 540? I think that's Arizona. I don't need to talk to anybody from Arizona, right?
Yes.
But that guy from Arizona might have a brilliant program for me that could be like a life, like a game changer. We think like that because we're in the industry. But you guys have to understand your target audience. The people that you guys are communicating with always have their guards up. People are always trying to sell them. People are always trying to come up with the next big idea for them, right? So they're not going to answer their phone. Shoot them a text. The text is going to be there whenever they look at their phone. Is going to be there. That missed call, if you don't leave a voicemail, no one even checks voicemails nowadays. But if you leave that text message, if you leave that email, they're gonna read it.
Yeah.
They might not respond, but they're going to read it.
Yep.
Now, if your message is captivating enough, they'll fucking answer you.
Right.
Right. So again, how to break a slump. If you're trying something and it's not working, just try.
Switch it
I
up.
mean, it sounds it's
Yeah.
easier said than done. Just switch it up, but just try like the 3 avenues that you always hit a lead. And this is something that we have company wide. You call, text, and email 3 times a day.
Three amigos.
If you do that, if you call the same person and you text the same person and you email them 3 times a day, right, for like a week. After that week, if they don't respond, then you know that the lead is kind of dead. But they'll reach back out because you flooded them with you inundated them with material.
I've had clients just get back to me like, you know what, you're persistent. Like,
Yep.
Right?
You
like,
earned the
literally,
business.
they're like, yeah,
Yes.
you know, I'm gonna call you back because you're on top of it. You're persistent.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, how many times you guys get one phone call and it's like one and done? That number never pops up again.
Right.
That person doesn't really want to earn your business. They're not hungry enough. They just wanted to make the dial to appease their supervisor.
Correct.
Right? Just to get their numbers up. They don't want to earn your business. Persistence is key. And realistically, if you're going to be successful, like Stanley always says, this is a contact sport.
Yeah.
Stanley's an ex-stockbroker. So, these guys used to fucking call from the yellow pages and just try to just have the phone.
You gotta be aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. So make it 500 calls a day. You know what I mean? And just they want to call. He wanted to call people with a brand new idea, and he made sales, right? So how bad you want it in a sense, right? Because Stanley, you guys, and if you want to shed some light on this from your stockbroker days, you guys had to earn your chair for the day, right?
Yeah. When you come in the office, you have to be there before the stock market opened. You have to have the Wall Street Journal or the Boston, Boston. I think
You said
Herald.
Journal or Herald?
No, not
Boston
Journal.
Herald.
I think it was the Herald.
It is the Herald.
In a minute. You read through it, the financials, get all the bullet points of what's hot, so you knew what to talk about, so you were on current events. And then when the bell hit, there was a corner that everybody's chair went to, and you were on your feet, smiling and dialing, and you had to earn your chair. If you couldn't get past the receptionist, you didn't sit. If you couldn't get the main person on the phone, you couldn't sit.
Yeah, they take
If you
your chair
couldn't
away.
get your first 4 or 5 questions answered and get through your pitch, you didn't sit. You earned everything.
Yeah.
Now, the flip side, the guys that went through the ranks and then got to a point where they were full of senior loan officers is different. I'm not earning my chair because I have my own private office. I have my secretary. I walk out and I look at everyone there and make them earn to be where I'm at. When you see someone in their office, you know they dialed $100, $300 a day. You know they can get on the phone and sell water to Eskimo. You know what I mean? And it builds a level of confidence.
Wait, hold on, time out, bro. What the hell did you just say? Water to an
Sell
Eskimo?
water to an
It
Eskimo.
was ice or snow.
That's everybody.
Hey,
Yeah.
ice melts.
I still
Ice, right?
I
All
don't
right,
like that.
Roger. You know what? The tequila might have Stanley tonight. I don't know what the hell he said.
Hey, ice
I-
melts.
exactly. See, ice you can't. No. I was in Melville, Long Island. If you know much about New York has the Wall Street in the city.
Yep.
What they call Melville, Long Island, baby Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those firms had offices on Long Island.
Right off Roger, right off 110. Like if you
Big
could,
financial
if you could,
district,
if you could make it in
industrial.
if you could make it in Melville,
Yeah.
you can make it anywhere on Long Island. That's a fact. You know what I mean? It's the Wild Wild West. Yo, Sean Combe, I like what you said. Persistence beats resistance.
Yes.
Back that up.
Yep.
If I
That's
can-
a bar.
if I can give you guys a gem, right?
Yeah.
And this is what worked for me, and it might work for you. The person you are and the person on the phone cannot be the same person. And listen what I mean. You might be around your friends and an introvert. When you get on that phone, you're an extrovert. You command the room. What you do in your everyday life is not who you are on the phone. Because for me, my alter ego is 50 Cent. Everybody knows.
That's 16 chocolate.
Well, that's with the ladies.
Okay.
Now.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
But
Now makes sense.
it's 50 Cent, right?
God damn
Because
it.
coming where I come from, I didn't come from a family with money. I didn't come from a silver spoon, gold spoon. I didn't have a spoon. I ate with my hands, right? But now I'm on the phone with multimillionaires.
Are you in the third world country? Did you grow up?
I'm 100% Haitian, yo. My flag got red and blue. What up?
No lies.
But first independent black colony, but we won't go into history like that yet.
Shout out to Haiti.
So when I entered that world, a lot of people go, "Yo, you don't know what you're doing." I'm like, I have no other option. What's the worst you're gonna do to me? Hang up?
Yeah.
What is
Word.
think about it
That's
for
huge.
a second, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen.
That is the biggest.
What is the worst that your client could do to you that you called? Hang up. I guarantee people hang up you for a lot less. But the difference is that person could change your life on the other end of the phone.
The benefit outweighs the risk of you.
So you're gonna earn that. I'm gonna make you hang up or I'm gonna make you buy. That's it. I don't care. I don't care. You got to put the kids to bed. You have the phone in your ear, so you don't have to get off the phone. I have to
Haitian.
Thomas Bratcher said, "I'm the second president of Haiti." Hey,
New lie.
Yeah, you already know. You already know.
The Haitian committee tonight.
You know what I mean? But you have to have an anchor, and that's what I was taught. You can't tell something you believe in, but you're always taught it's the product. And that's why I think a lot of people get lost with sales. I personally don't give a shit about the product. I believe in myself. As long as you believe in yourself, and I don't think enough salespeople talk about the belief in self. If you believe in yourself, now you're saying this is the product. I know I could sell it.
I'll push it.
You're gonna sell it. I'm your pusher.
I'm your pusher.
You know what, Stanley? To piggyback off what you just said, I mean, you know what the kids are saying nowadays is I'm him, right? I'm him.
I know I hear all day.
And you have the person on the other end of the phone has to know that they're speaking to him.
Yeah.
I'm the best. You guys hear me all day. You guys hear me all day. I say I'm the best at what I do.
Yeah, facts.
Right? Listen, I'm gonna get that extra. I'm gonna look at your bank statement. I'm gonna see that there's another account in there, and I'm gonna tell you I need another account to get a higher offer. You know what I mean? I'm gonna inform you. I gotta choose my words. I gotta choose my words wisely. But I'm gonna inform you that listen, I don't work for free, but I do work for free until you get funded. So if you don't get funded, I'm working for free this whole time. So it's in my best interest to get you the highest dollar amount because I get paid the most. When the more money that you get, more money I make. Our interests are aligned. Let's go ahead and beat the lender. If we have to finagle, if we have to go ahead and
slip one past the goalie.
That's it. Our interests are aligned. You go to the best lawyers because the best lawyers finagle, right? They're gonna make sure that you're gonna get less time or no time. You don't go to the guy.
Wait, how do you know that?
You don't go to. I watch a lot of podcasts of guys getting Ricos. All right? No, but for real, like that's just like you guys. Like your lawyer comes in, he's not in a suit, right? He's in fucking sweatpants, right? He has fitted. He has no idea what he's talking about, right? You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna go to jail, right? You want to make sure the person that you are putting your trust in is an expert in their field. Right. That's who you have to be on the phone.
And that's the other person.
The person on the other end of the phone needs to feel like you are driving a $500,000 car. They want to feel like you're in a $10,000 suit, even if you're sitting on your couch. Who gives a fuck, right? You have to exuberate that confidence, just like Stanley said. It's all about what you portray over the phone. People want to know that you're sharp as a tack, you're an expert in your field, and people will buy from you because they feel like your advice is the best that they can get.
Yeah,
right. And if they don't feel like that, then they're not even going to save your number in their phone. How many times do you guys call somebody 3 times a day? You have conversations, and then they call, and they're not like, "Hi, Daryl." They're like, "Hello, Bob. I spoke to you 3 times yesterday. What was this?"
I think we froze. Did we freeze?
Now we're back. We're back.
No.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm sweating. I'm on a bit of a rant, but I get passionate about this because I mean, listen. We have new guys that start in the industry all the time that don't come from sales, but we have to teach them sales. And being a good salesperson is about being able to pivot. It's about understanding that this industry comes with highs and lows. You're gonna have your $1 million months. You're also gonna have your $20,000 months, right? And it's all about how you go ahead and you're mentally capable enough to keep pushing when you have that $20,000 month. I was in a slump for the last month, and the first 2 weeks of April, I popped off, right? Right? But it's all about knowing that your that next phone call could be it.
Yeah.
Right? You can't stop when you're 3 feet from goal. And it's about, just like Sean Combs said, it's about being persistent, right? Listen, nobody makes the money that they want to make by being comfortable. You got to get uncomfortable.
That's it.
Right? You got to jump into that new territory. You got to try new things within reason, right? Go ahead, Stanley.
Right, and I want to piggyback back on what Daryl was saying.
Yeah,
right?
piggyback back.
There's two ways to look at it, and I know some of you are looking at this as a second income, a side job, or an exit to what you're doing now. And to play on what I was saying before, there's people in this group that says, you know what, I'm Clark Kent. During the day, I put on my glasses, I put on my suit, I go to work. When you get on that phone, you turn to Superman. You have to. But also, there's people that go out there in the world, they're out there already. You might be the king of Wakanda, but you still got to turn to Black Panther. Do you understand that? You have to step it up. I have to step up your step.
I gotta be honest with Stanley. I don't understand that. I mean, I know you said
I'll
that.
explain to you. I'm gonna explain to you. No problem. It won't. But listen, as you can see, me and Daryl are very outgoing people, personality wise, right? And we're very friendly. We're social. That's what I mean, King of Wakanda. There's no way we're gonna walk in a room and you don't feel our presence, right? But then we get on the phone and you know we mean business. So it's not about, we know our craft. Like, you're not going to say something that I don't know the answer to by the time you open your mouth. I know I'm that skilled. I know. Pause. I forgot to pause.
All right. Right. Go ahead.
So, but that's what I'm saying. So when I say the King of Wakanda to Black Panther, the reference is, yeah, you could be the confident person in real life. But then to really step it up from that level, you have to be like what they call a tactician. When I'm on the phone with you, I know my product from in and out. You will never tell me why my product's good or bad. I know what's bad about it. But if it is bad, I know why it's for you. And it's not that bad what you think. It's the way you use it. Like that last deal we looked at. You saw the guy only had, what was it, $10,000. Everybody was talking about what kind of loan program to give them. When I saw it, I said, forget the loan program. Let's get him more money. So open his opportunity. At the end of the day, no one noticed, what does he need the money for? To make more money. He doesn't want to just restructure the loan. Get him more money so he can do the deal and do more deals. That's from experience. And that comes over time. Now, to pivot back to our topic of what gets you out of that slump, that also becomes your armor. So let's not talk about just sales and being upfront and going at it and getting up every day. When you're in that slump, you have to think, if Superman knows someone needs to be saved, does he sit in bed? If Black Panther knows he has to do something, does he have the luxury of hitting his alarm and going to bed? No, you get up and get it done. You don't have that option. That's how you go into it. That's why I use superhero references. You have no choice. That's who you are. That's what defines you.
Right.
Not the moments when everybody's running away from the fire. It's about who's going towards it. That's when the heat is on, you're blazing, skin sweating, the fire is on. Guess what? You get up, you put your pants on one leg at a time, and you go to war. That's what we do every single day.
Yep.
That's what you have to be built for. Am I going to get bruises? Yes. Am I going to get hit? Yes. Am I going to get uncomfortable? Definitely. That's par for the course. But Jay-Z says, what people call impossible, what's the line?
No fucking idea, Stanley.
I hate when Daryl does that.
I have no idea.
Oh my God!
It sounded like it was really good.
I gotta make my guys listen to music, and Daryl's segue is horrible. But the premise is,
no, you got bars, bro. I'm listening to you.
Yeah.
No, just don't ask me.
When we do the replay, I'm gonna edit this part. But my point being, in sales, a lot of people dread Mondays. lot of people dread. Oh my God, this is difficult. It's par for the course for us.
I'm excited for Monday, honestly.
Yeah, we're superheroes here.
Excited for Monday.
Yeah,
I'm seeing how I make the
honestly.
news. Who did I save?
There you go, Thomas. I can sell fire in hell. I can sell water to a well.
No, wrong line. That's salesman.
That's Jay.
No, the line I'm talking about when people think I'm gonna get the line for you guys. What
Yeah, go
other
Google
people
that. Can you Google
what
it?
other people call complicated is my Monday. It's nothing to me. When you have nothing, what can you take from someone that has nothing to lose? That's a dangerous motherfucker right there. When I have nothing to lose, there's nothing you could do to me. That's my okay. Let me fix the lineup. But that's the premise. That's how you get out your slump, ladies and gentlemen. We could read you a book. I can give you a whole bunch of analogies.
Sales for dummies.
But when you get on the phone, you have nothing to lose. Don't think about paying your bill. I am conquering you on that phone call. The second one, the third one. I'm going to win. Get rich or die trying. Understand that. Tattoo that. That's you on every call. You are not going to beat me because you know what? You beat me, I lose nothing because I had nothing at the beginning of this conversation. So I have everything to gain. So I'm going to call you. I'm going to text you. I'm going to email you. Don't let me find your social media. I'll say hi, butterflies, and sell you a kitten. Happy Monday. I'm going to be the person that you think about every night to a point where you're going to give me the deal because if you're a man, your wife thinks you're cheating. And if you're a woman, your husband thinks you're cheating. Because they're like, who's coming up with a call ID? We're starting this.
That actually happens to me. I get text messages at like 10 p.m. from a client in Cali.
Your girl thinks you
And
cheating.
my girl like, who the hell is that texting you at 10 times in a row? Blah blah blah. Why are you getting calls at 11? I'm like, these are clients.
Par for the course.
If you're good at what you do, they call you before and after hours.
Listen, I do want to read some comments because obviously Jose's chiming in the chat, right? So Jose said, what motivates each of you to show up to work and grind, right?
Sure.
Like I guess Jose's asking us what's our why, right? So I can say for myself, my why is my kids, right? I didn't really have a why before them, to be honest. I'm not even ashamed to say that, right? I was just young, hanging out, partying, whatever. But once you have people that really depend on you, right? Like they look because your kids look to you like you're God, right? Like you are their everything, right? If they need something fixed, they call daddy, right? If they need advice, they call daddy. Shout out to you mothers out there, all right? But just speaking from my point of view, they're gonna go to their parents, right? So my why is I make every decision in my life as if my kids are standing right there looking at me, right? And are they going to be proud of the decisions I make? Are they going to be proud of the conversations that I have, right? That's what motivates me every day. My kids making the best possible life for them. What's yours, Joe? And listen, we're getting a little deep right now. The Tequila Thursday is supposed to be all happy and shit, but
it's not even deep because you know what?
This is real.
This is important to you because when you're alone, when this segment's off, and you're in your house by yourself. This is what gets you up.
Well, how deep you trying to go, Stan?
I go as deep as you get.
Here we go. All right,
the oceans.
All right, so Joe, tell us.
Yeah, my family. Building generational wealth. Honestly, for my family and my daughter. I used to be a photographer, and I'd be out all weekend till 4 a.m, exhausted.
More tequila, Sean?
During the weekdays, I'm taking school pictures. I'm like, I don't have any time to spend time with my daughter. I don't have any time to, be with my family. Like, what type of future am I looking at? I didn't want to be 40, 50 years old taking pictures. Like I wanted more for myself. So, it was honestly COVID that really changed my life because no more weddings, no more concerts. I couldn't take pictures no more. I was like, I need something, rain, snow, sleet. Pandemic, so that's why I got into real estate because I want to be free at one point in my life. I want to be able to help other people, but I want generational wealth for me, my friends, my family. I want to teach people how to grow that wealth. So that's my why.
Thank you.
Horace. Sean?
Yeah, listen, I mean, I got the family too. I've got a little girl. I've got an elderly mother who's, disabled. That's all great. But this is the one industry, right? You don't have to, I only have a 2-year associate's degree. I can make the same, if not more, than a doctor, a lawyer. Yeah, you name it, man. So is no cap to it, right? And not only that, I get to help people grow their business, buy the property of their dreams, help them build generational wealth, help them, build their real estate portfolio so that they can make a healthy living and then pass that down to their family. So there's a lot of reasons, man, but this is really an industry that there's no limit to what you can do. It's about how much, are you willing to sacrifice? How much you willing to put in? The sky is the limit.
Stanley,
I don't know if the group's ready for my answer.
We're ready.
I don't think it fits everybody else's.
I'm ready.
Why? I don't know.
I'm curious now.
You guys really want to know my why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of y'all might love me, y'all. Some might hate me.
You're trying to
I
flex
really-
on people?
No.
Stanley, listen. One Stanley. One Stanley.
I'm sorry.
Was he a fucking bartender?
No. Nah,
You better give him a tip for that.
Listen, I would say my why is my kids, like Daryl said, right?
Don't be cliche.
Yeah, but I can't say that's my why.
Spice it up.
I can't. My kids are vanity play. I love my kids. Do I?
But fuck them kids.
Fuck the kids.
Oh, man. That was a family show.
Listen, we're having a family conversation. My son has a personal trainer with an ex-NFL player. I do that because of me, so I can say my kid's better than yours, right? Because my kid puts in the work, right? I have a vanity play. I could say, like, Joe, you know what? I want to spend my time with my kids all the time. You know what? I could take a lower paying job, work 9 to 5, off weekends, off after 4 o'clock, and put them on the bus if you really want to spend time with your kids. So let's be real. For me, I'd be lying if I said that. I could say, you know what? Because I want to spend time with my parents and spend time with them. I could say that, but I could be doing that through a 9 to 5 job. Why? Because I want to be able to affect my life. I want to be able to pay for my parents' vacation. That's my vanity. I want to make sure my kid has the best life because I want it. I want to go on beautiful vacations because I want to dip my feet in the sand.
Oh,
I'm being honest as blunt with you. We're family. We're hanging out. We're sipping a little bit, right? Be honest with yourself.
No, you real.
Be honest with yourself. So I've learned to be brutally honest with myself.
You have
So
to.
when I'm here at night with you guys and I'm educating you guys, because I want you to bring fucking monster deals so I can cut you monster fucking checks. Tell you now, when I get my check, I'm living nice. But I put in the time. If you look at my text, ask Daryl what time I text him out. I text him this morning at 4:14 this morning. I said, good morning. He said, go to bed, Stan. I said, I just woke up.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying? Tonight, when I leave here and everyone's hugging their kids, I'm going to kiss my kids tonight and I'm opening up my laptop.
Facts.
Understand something. So I could do what the fuck I want to do. And that's the mentality you have to have. It's good watching Wolf of Wall Street, all these sales
Boiler Room
movies. It's good going on podcasts talking about you could be an animal. This game is not for the weak. This isn't for the faint of heart. People aren't going to sign up with you just because you sound nice on the phone. It's because you deliver.
Everybody want to be a lion till they gotta do shit lions do.
Facts. That's
Right?
why I told you my role model is 50 Cent. There's a quote he says that a lot of people hear on social media.
I step on grapes, put them in water, and tell them it's wine.
Not at all. These guys are from a different era. I don't know. They're talking about drinks. I'm talking about the fact that they asked 50 Cent, like, oh, why are you so confrontational? You're ready to fight everybody. He's like, I don't fight everybody. What do you want me to run home? Who am I going to run home to? Nobody's there. What am I going to run home to get me? So I have no choice to step there. I have no choice to step up to the plate. That's my Superman cape. When I'm on the phone, I have no other option. I have no other phone call. Just me and you on a corner, and I'm going to win 10 out of 10 times because I demand that I do not lose. That you have to have sacrifice for. There's no woe is me. If I get beat up, I go home to myself. I wipe my eyes, I go to bed, I wake up, and then I do it again. That is sales, ladies and gentlemen. No matter what cookie cutter podcast you listen to, no matter what salesman, Tony Robbins, or anyone wants to glorify what this is, you make a shitload of money because you're willing to put the hours and time that no one else would do. Look at you. You're on a podcast where it's 7:59 Eastern time.
On a Thursday.
You could be sitting dinner with your family.
Yep.
You could be with your old lady or your old man. You could be catching up on Desperate Housewives.
Is that still around?
Or watching the
Eva
game.
Longoria?
They got some fire on this.
So you're already making the first step. Give yourself credit. being on this podcast, you just put your sneakers on, start lacing them up. You're ready to go outside. But understand that's just the first step.
Yeah.
We have to step on the porch. We have to step in the street.
We got to step in the trenches.
And that's where, when we talk about getting out and get a rebound and getting there, don't give you stepping back into the house an option. I'm utilizing my CRM. You give me 1,000 leads, I'm gonna call all 1,000 until they tell me stop calling or block my number. If I have a job that pays my 9 to 5, once I get a couple dollars, I'm getting VAs to call for me because they're working from 9 to 6. I'm gonna put the time in to train them to make sure they're operating the way I want. Put tools in to supervise what they do. Why? Because I have no other option. Plan A, get it done. Plan B, why the fuck are you here? Go look at Plan A.
Love that.
As you guys can see, when Jose's not here, we curse a lot more.
Nah,
Listen, this is what we're having an honest conversation.
Yeah, it's life.
The first person that loves you should tell you the truth, right? You have other friends that sugarcoat it. Your mother always told you the truth, right? She told you who your friends were that you shouldn't hang out with.
Fact.
You didn't want to hear it, but she told you.
She told you about the girl you shouldn't be dating. She told you about the friends that were going to snake you.
And majority of the time, mama was right? But she didn't sugarcoat it. She told you.
Yeah.
I'm in love with her. I don't care. She trifling.
Roger James, one hand wash the other. Whoa, what'd you just say?
Trifling. You like
Yo, Roger James, one hand wash the other, both wash your face. Roger, Roger, that is one of my favorite lines that Jadakiss ever said. Fire.
Let's go.
All right. So listen, we're gonna, obviously we're almost out of time, so I want to go to our last segment to really just touch on following up, right? Because when you're in a slump, right, and your new leads aren't working, right? One of my favorite things to do, and I know Sean said this last week, is you go for the lowest hanging fruit. Correct. Go back to that person that last month you had approved. They didn't take the deal, right? You go back to that guy 2 months ago that was looking for a property. Who knows if he found one now? He forgot about you.
I agree 100%. I always say that.
Right?
Very true.
The leads that the sometimes when you're in a slump and the new shit's not working, go back to that old thing. You got to spin the block.
The old thing back.
You got to spin the block, right?
You'd be surprised.
And this is one thing that Lucas is amazing at. His English isn't really too good, but one thing that he's really amazing at,
definitely get deported.
He's amazing at nurturing leads
and
continuing the conversation, right? It's about the guy. Listen, when you have your pipeline, things die, deals get funded. There's always something that falls. There's always the person that falls through the crack, right? One thing I do at the beginning of every month is I always go back to the deals that I had people approved for or even denied last month. I funded the deal last month, $7,500, but in February, he was declined. I reached back out to him and said, hey, send me updated bank statement. Maybe things changed, right? Things did change. He went from $5,000. His most recent month was $15,000. I got him $7,500, right? He was like, Dal, thanks for calling me back. Because when people are searching for money, everyone's calling them. They're the hot commodity. But when they don't get funded, their phone goes silent. And that's when I come in.
That's the truth.
I'm going to be more successful than you because I'm going to reach back out to that guy that everybody forgot about, And that guy's going to be loyal forever because he's like, Dal, I'll never take money from nobody. No, he's probably lying, right?
They all lie.
He's probably lying. But just the fact that he even said, thanks for thinking about me again. I'm gonna give him a call at the beginning of next month and say, hey, do you need more money? Your follow-up game's got to be on point, right? The first time you wanted to go on the date with a girl, I'm very sure she didn't tell you yes right away, right?
You call me sexy chocolate. They call me sexy chocolate for a reason.
Right away.
Sometimes you got to be really persistent to go ahead and get. You got to be persistent to go ahead and get that date, right? You don't just call her once and say, "Oh, you don't want to go out? Okay, cool. Never talk to her again." Sorry, ladies. You use the same parable for you ladies as well for the guy you want to go on a date with, right? But to my fellas out there, right? It's not being persistent, right? I always equate like relationships and stuff to business funding because they really do go hand in hand, right? With everything about anything in a relationship, playing hard to get, everything like that, all that stuff applies to what we do on a day-to-day basis. That's sales. Every phone call, there's a sale made. Either you're getting sold on why they don't need the fucking money, or you're selling them to take the money. Somebody's getting sold. The more successful people are the ones doing the selling. What were you saying, Joe?
No, I'm saying I was gonna agree with you. Yeah, like you don't want to seem too desperate, you know. You don't want to call 6 times back to back your client, you know. But like, put a feeler out there. You come around the block, like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Did you fund that deal? How's it going? Oh no,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just keep the conversation going.
And Joe, that's exactly what happened. I said, hey, listen, Robert, did you get the funding you're looking for last month? Down, no, everybody declined me. Send me updated bank statement. Let me see what I can do. Got him $7,500.
Looks like a hero.
That person that
Yeah.
said no in March, like, oh, I'm good, I got it. All right, and you call them in April, like, oh, so how's everything? You funded that deal, right? Did everything? Oh no, I didn't. Oh, all right. Let me
Scroll
see what I
down.
can do for you.
Scroll down. Roger, you had a question, Roger? Can I get a?
You'll have that update tomorrow because I need Jose here also. Right now he's still in detention. So
No, so Roger. So I want to let you know this because NG Productions new bar is at the banks waiting for credit cards. That I know. Native Sun convenience store. That's the guy in the Hamptons.
I need to get on the phone with you because, like I said, I had an idea, but the Indian reservation, you just confirmed that. So I gotta talk to my warehouse manager and see the regulations for that piece of land. Like I said, that's federal. That's not a state level when you deal with Indian reservations.
Yeah, but we listen. We also have Native Son on the business side. Roger's working it. So Roger is working it for Roger. Crazy.
Roger that.
Roger that. So Roger, he recently opened up a new bank account. Now, usually on the business funding side, why the hell do you open up a new bank account? Usually it's a red flag. It's like, motherfucker probably defaulted, right? And that's what ended up happening.
And those defaults are on the other statement. Just to segue.
He defaulted on his other business, opened up a new one, and then started operating. A lot of the lenders are catching it. So you're probably only going to be able to do something for him on the real estate side. Again, Stanley has to talk to his warehouse manager. I don't know who the hell this guy is, but he's going to talk to him. He's going to figure it out.
All right. When I say warehouse, listen, it's mortgage terminology. Because we have a pool of capital, and we have a guy that manages day to day, see what money goes out, goes in. So I got to see, and we have rules and guidelines that certain assets we could lend on. So when you deal with federal land, it gets pretty sticky of the process of, God forbid they don't pay, how you could foreclose, modification, what we can lend on. It's like, for example, we closed a deal, I think Jose was talking about this week, how we were able to lend on a church, which is rare as ever. Because every first thing a lender would tell you, we do not want to foreclose on God. So
Jesus.
On Jesus. I apologize. I say God because you don't know the denomination. Got to be general.
That could be a
synagogue. Exactly. So you say God.
Mosque.
But we got to close. But I was able to finagle it, go, listen, and compensating factors. But because churches have certain protections.
You guys think God's a female?
Oh my God, we just went so left.
Stop it, bro.
No, we're not going there.
All right.
We don't talk about religion.
All right.
Oh no,
Wait,
politics.
listen.
My God.
Not bring it there, bro.
Please stop the chat.
Listen, we're not gonna go there. That's for our X-rated podcast.
No,
that we're gonna start doing on Mondays.
X-rated, but you're talking about
man.
God. No, I'm not on. Yo,
X-rated.
Mama, I am not on that live.
Keep that with your Twitch.
I am
X-rated. No, but
BT out the dark.
No, but
Bottom, man.
listen, I'm gonna read a couple of these comments, and we're gonna do our final thoughts. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna let these nice people get back to their lives, so we don't want to hold them hostage. What we got? Jose said, "Can you guys go live on TikTok so we can see your day to day?"
Jose's gonna be the first one. Jose does it first. We'll see who follows.
Yes. So
that's TikTok Jose's day from the time he wakes up. He gets that
morning routine.
When he gets the bowl of ice, fill it with Modelo,
and puts his face in it.
You first, Jose. We'll follow.
Yo, man.
No, so our camera guy, Radical, the best in the business. Shout out to Radical. Right behind the scenes. Radical has started doing, he started like teetering with the idea of going live. I don't really like the idea of going live because this shit's crazy in this office. All right.
Oh, good, man. I love it.
We are wild. You guys see us here drinking. It's during the day when we're sober, it's crazy. All right. It's a whole bunch of FUs, but it's high
scaled back right now.
Listen, Wall Street meets Boys in the Hood meets
No, but seriously, it's high volume, it's high pressure sales. Because again, your very next phone call could be that $1 million deal that you could make somebody's annual salary in one deal.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a fact.
That's why we're here.
Right? That $35,000 average salary in America, you could easily make on one deal. Right? So every next deal could be the life changer. So trust me, deals die, we curse, we're over here, we're blasting music. This is how we operate here. So I don't really want to give you guys the insight on that because you might judge us.
Oh, you're definitely judging.
Definitely going to judge us.
Before we got on the podcast, Joe was complaining that he's only making 2 points on $1 million deal. Below me. This is the diva.
No, this is the diva. It's more than $1 million though, right, Joe? Let's be honest.
It's like 1.38.
That's what I'm saying. But he's complaining.
We gotta take care of our affiliates. Yeah.
Well, Stanley just said blow me, so I guess we gotta delete this VOD. This shit. We can't post this.
Blow my hair. Blow my hair.
Oh, yeah. What hair, bro?
You gotta get you a perm, bro.
That's crazy. No, but Amanda says sell or be sold. Yeah, Amanda. I mean, listen, that's you posted that like a couple of minutes ago, going back to what I said. But yeah, listen, on the phone, people are gonna tell you why they don't need the deal, why it's not the right time. And it's your job as a professional to guide them. We almost have to think about the people that we're speaking to on the phone as if they're sheep and we're the herders, right? If they knew what the proper ways to go about things were, they would not be on the fucking phone with you. They're on the phone with you because they need guidance. But they're only going to follow your guidance if you're an expert at your craft. If you're able to answer every question, able to pivot.
I had a client today asking 1 million questions. I'm like, listen, trust me. I'm like, do you go to your doctor and tell him how to conduct surgery and what to prescribe you? Do you go to your?
Some people do.
I mean, yeah, but it's not realistic. If you're in a hospital gown, you're about to get anesthesia, and you're like, this is how I want my surgery conducted.
Yeah. This is how I want you to open up my chest and do the heart surgery.
You're not gonna go to your mechanic with your. You don't even pop your hood. Like, this is what should be. This is what I think should be done. I'm an accountant, but this is how you should fix my car.
Right?
Yeah. Listen, I told, and it's not a slight, but I tell people all the time. Once you get to a construction guy, he's trying to tell me what rates are. I'm like, dude, listen. You build houses for a living. If I told you how to build a house, you say, "Down, shut up. You don't do this." So don't tell me what I'm doing, right? A lot of these borrowers on both aspects, real estate and business lending, they always think that they know more than you, but they only feel like that because they don't feel like you're the expert. Because when you're speaking to an expert, you don't question them. So there's a power dynamic. Also understand these are business owners. So just like everybody's boss, the boss is up here, right? Everybody looks up to their boss. They suck up to their boss. They try to do whatever they try to do whatever they can to be in their boss's good graces. So these people are used to being on that pedestal. You have to bring them the fuck down to earth, right? Because when they're on the phone with you, you're the expert.
Reality check.
You got to take that power dynamic right from them, or they won't respect you. If they don't respect you, they'll never buy from you. Doesn't matter how good the deal is. People are going to buy from the person that knows the most, that they feel like is going to have that roadmap for them. That's going to be able to give them that exit strategy, right?
Can I pivot on that? You see what Daryl just said? People buy from people that they know the most. And Daryl's my brother, right?
Is it because we're both
have hands? Have hands? We both have right fists. And I don't disagree with Daryl often, but this time I won't. I will.
Oh.
People don't think about it. People don't buy from people that know the most. Because think about it. The people that teach in college aren't the people like Jeff Bezos. There's people that teach and people that do.
Yep.
Big difference. There's people at Harvard, Princeton that will teach you about business, but never ran a multi-billion-dollar business.
Mm-hmm.
Bars.
The person that runs that business is your superpower. I reiterate that every time. Like Daryl says, it's not that he's not the most knowledgeable, but he already sold himself he is. You can't tell him he's not the most knowledgeable. That's what I mean. What you just saw that second was Daryl being Superman. He told you no one knows more than me.
They don't.
You don't even know if he knows more than anyone,
I probably don't even know anything.
but he believes it. If I'm telling you, I ask you, if you have a couple minutes when this is over, rewind it. Look at Daryl's face when he was talking to you. Look at his body language.
Look me in the eyes.
There's no way anybody's gonna tell me
Look at me.
Daryl did not believe every word he said. At that moment, he had no one to run to. It was you versus him, and nobody was gonna tell him he wasn't gonna win.
Mm.
That's how you get out your slump, because your superpower never got into it.
That's it.
A slump is a mental thing.
Yep.
A slump is what you get into when you leave work, when you go to bed, when you're being Clark Kent. When you turn to what Daryl just turned into, there is no slump. It's just another day at the office.
That's it.
Also, Clark never really got Lois. Superman did.
Oh,
Bars.
Superman got Lois. Right?
Bars. On that note, I think we need to do final thoughts.
Yeah. All right. So, Sean, you wanna give your final thoughts?
Yeah, let's short and
Suge White.
all right, man. Hey, listen. So before I got into the lending space, I was in retail banking. I started off as a teller, worked my way up to the desk as a banker, assistant manager, and I got to selling financial products. That particular industry, it was very customer service. So it wasn't. I sold, but it was more. Excuse my language, but I was kissing ass, right? So it was a big adjustment for me coming into this space. So when you're on the phone with these people, you have to be able to follow up. Don't feel shy calling them a couple times a day, leaving them text messages. Never think in your head that you're bothering them, you're harassing them, you're stalking them. No, because you know what? If you're not doing it, somebody else will. You know what I'm saying? So, be persistent, hit them from all angles, calls, texts, emails. Don't be shy to even make a Google Voice account or text now. Hit them up from a different number. If you feel like they're not answering you, hit them up from another number.
Sure. What's the worst thing a client could do to you?
Tell you no, and then you move on to the next. And guess what? That no this month might be a yes next month. So stay on top of them, stay organized, put reminders in your calendar, and you will see success.
Bang, bang.
Joe?
Yeah, I thought Stanley was next.
Nah, I'm the icing on the cake.
Okay.
I don't like
But,
when you said that in the mic. You all up in my ear, bro, when you said the icing on the
All
cake.
up in
It's
the
crazy.
ear.
Icing on
Boss.
the cake.
I said
But
that.
Then light-skinned brothers got to add something. Let's go.
Hey, I get dark in the summer. Anyway.
Me too.
But yeah, I would say just having that confidence and knowing that like you got to be prepared though. You also got to put in the work to know what you're doing. Like when Michael Jordan and Kobe stepped on the court, they know they're the best because they put that time in.
Like a fact.
Kobe used to wake up 4 a.m. He would, Kobe
Call me
took
Kobe?
You Shaq, I'm Kobe. That's it. Kobe took a helicopter to practice to beat traffic, so he had an extra 2 hours to shoot.
He gave all that time back.
Yeah, but we see how that turned out.
He gave all that time back.
Whatever. Anyway, the point is, put the time in so you have that confidence. Like I speak to clients and they try to tell me, "Oh, I got offered this rate and these," and I know because I put the time in. The work in, I'm like, that rate and that loan you're telling me doesn't exist.
Yep.
I know I'm giving you probably the best offer you're looking at because I know I put the time, I put the effort in. So it's, put the time, put the effort in. You might have great days, you might have bad weeks, but the consistency, put the time, put the effort, put the work in. Everything will be roses in the end. Everything will be great.
All right, Stanley.
Go to a time in your life when no one could tell you anything. For some of us, it's when we were 16, 19, 21, 25. You're on top of the world, either successful job or a great family. You were him, you were her, right? And I guarantee that person, if he was on this call right now, would be a monster. Sometimes your superhero isn't someone different. You've been that person before.
Mm,
You just need to tap into that person.
that's it.
It's that time where you were 21, 25, not saying you're drinking, you're hitting the bars. Let's say you're a man, you know you're good looking, you're hitting the gym. No one could tell you nothing. You're a woman, you work out or you don't. Your self-confidence exudes your presence. You walk in a room and command presence. That's that moment. Make that person that superhero you have. Bring that person on the call. Because I'm willing to bet the person you are now, you're giving 100% to. And you're still trying to figure out who you are or what's the next thing to do. I guarantee if you give that person that you were before 20%, that confidence, that indestructibility, there's nothing they can sell. No one could tell them no. Because the moment you got on that phone, you attracted power. You spoke with such confidence that no one wouldn't even take another phone call. You are your own superhero. I need you to understand that. Even though I say Wakanda, I say Superman, you are your own superhero. So everybody talks about a slump and what you have to think or become. You are that person. It's up to you to decide if you're going to bring them out.
Mm,
It's up to you to decide, like a video game, which player you're going to fight with. Are you going to fight with the person you've been or the person you're about to become? That will determine your future. But the thing about it, no matter what we say here, when this podcast turns off, that decision is only made by you. And being part of this community, I want to make something really clear. You are not alone. Not one of us in this office ever fight alone. Joe's on a phone call and I see him slipping. You better believe my hand goes firmly behind the back of his shoulders to make sure he doesn't fall.
We'll have
Pause.
to call HR after that one. That shit's crazy. I'm sorry.
I just said
You see what I
shoulder.
do it? You
My
see what
shoulders.
I had to think about that because if I put my hand behind his back, it would have been so much worse.
I thought you were gonna give him a spanking.
So much worse. But let me reset.
Could use someone else. For that.
Let me, you're in my department. Darren, this is the part of me with Darren. Oh my God.
All
Right.
right, let's get back on track.
Right.
Come on, you're going somewhere.
So my point being, for example,
I was like, I do business.
like for
Get your hand off my back, Stanley. Fuck, I fucked up a call. Jesus. Get your goddamn hand off my back, bro.
my
All right,
point
now.
being, see, this is the problem with this fucking office. I swear to God.
Sean Comey said, grab your ankles. See? That's what you guys, that's what it sounds like.
Spell run.
Yo,
My hands are on his shoulders.
Guys, it's Stanley serious. He's like,
All right, come on.
and Stanley, he's like,
We're getting a little sidetracked here, folks.
if I hear that they're having trouble on a call, the first thing I'm gonna do is put my hand
On your shoulder.
Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Sounds like a romance novel. What are we really doing? All right, babe, let's reset, man. You were going somewhere, Stanley.
Roger James said, gently caressing the back.
You were going somewhere, man.
Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off on your shoulder. Jesus.
All right, man. Come on.
Listen, I think Stanley's done. Listen, I'm
Take
gonna
us home, Stanley.
listen,
Yeah,
listen.
My
cut him
point,
off.
no, you're not leaving me like that.
Yeah,
Wait.
let him land the plane.
I definitely have to land a plane right now.
redeem yourself.
Just what I'm saying is that. Oh my God.
So
So
50 Cent do.
Oh my God. What I mean by this is that even on the MCA space, there's times Daryl's in his moment. You can't tell him nothing. Daryl goes for a walk. He has his headset on in his zone. But then Hosea hears something and he'll be like, Daryl, ask him this question.
Yep.
Because he could see that Daryl's just hitting a wall. And Hosea go, Daryl, and feed him a line. Not that line, not white line.
All right. I'm gonna wrap it up. Listen,
No, Daryl's going too. No, listen, let me finish. See, this is the problem I'm
Yo,
dealing
he's
with.
getting a Kanye.
Right?
get us canceled. Fucking Stanley, just get us canceled tonight, bro. Go ahead.
Like, when you say a line of sales, I mean, like that.
A sales line.
Not feed him a line like that.
What am I doing?
Yeah, Stanley, bring us home for fuck's sake.
When I say feed him a line, not that kind of line.
No, come on, man.
I mean, Daryl's getting in his pitch, and then Hosea hears something and say, "Yo, say this." Then Daryl says it, and it turns the conversation. That's what I mean by support. So it's not like we're in our desk and we're only focused on our sales. You see it through the day where someone's like, "Hold on, what did that client say? Oh, say this." What that client say? Oh, don't you remember we could do this? And we constantly help each other out, right? So even on when you're going through it, in this community, that's why we have these meetings. So even when you turn to that next person, understand we're here to help you. Like you have the portals to put a deal, and someone has it. Have the conversation. I'm trying to figure this out. I get a lot of these deals. How should I sell it? Or you get these leads. Maybe you have to get better at your pitch. So when we have the Tuesdays, when marketing on Wednesdays, be here to ask those questions.
Yep.
Use us as a resource.
Yep.
You're not alone. That's the gist of what I was trying to say. Besides all this other stuff,
You're not alone.
is that we provide you tools to support you. So when you're ready to become that person and go in and sell, we'll support you. Marketing on Wednesdays, on Tuesdays, deep dives, on Thursdays, we're here to support you. You're never alone. That's what I was trying to say. Let me get off this podcast. These guys roast me.
Al said anybody speak Pakistani for real estate. I believe Sarah does.
Actually does.
I believe Sarah does.
Yeah.
Sarah does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's Southeast Asian, but I think she can speak.
Sarah's Pakistani.
No, she's straight Paki, yeah.
She's not straight
Pakistani.
back.
Well, she's half Paki.
Hold on.
But
Sarah, I did not say that.
not
So when you
straight.
come to office, deal with
Come on, man.
Sarah. Oh,
Listen,
I don't want no problems. I
didn't mean straight, but you know what I mean.
Sarah said, no, I don't.
What do you mean? You guys out here typing her up like she's
I
Pakistani.
ain't saying nothing.
Listen, I gotta wrap this up.
Pakistani bloodline.
I gotta wrap this up because Stanley's gonna get us fucking canceled, and Jose's
Yeah.
gonna be all upset. So,
It's 2025.
so listen, ladies and gentlemen, real quick, let me just button this up so you guys can get on with your night. I just want to call a toast really quick. Stanley, let's keep your cup empty for fuck's sake.
What do you mean? I didn't see nothing wrong.
Listen, this toast is to the dry spells, to the ghosted calls and the slow weeks that almost took us out, to the ones that kept showing up anyway, persevered. Here's to every broker who learned that pressure doesn't mean pause, it means pivot. Okay, cold streak, nah. You're just preheating for a breakout.
That's it.
All right. So
Pressure creates diamonds. Remember that.
yes,
Word.
and one more thing, ladies and gentlemen. Again, none of us do this for free. Okay. Nobody here gets a salary. All right. You only eat what you kill. Right. So on every phone call, you have to make sure that you are winning. Even if you don't get the sale on that call, make sure that you made a lasting impression with that person so that when you do follow up in a month, like I did with the small 7,500 that I did, it's just leaving a lasting impression. Show that you're an expert at your craft. Make them want to talk to you. Make them respect your decision. Make them respect your guidance. Because if they don't respect your guidance, I don't care. They're never going to buy from you.
Correct.
I have outsold people because they took my guidance. A guy wanted 50K. Some guy had him approved for 80. He took 40 from me because I'm that fucking dude. You know what I mean?
Him.
And I put the roadmap ahead that the other guy couldn't do. Because I told him if he took this 40K from me and he built up equity, he built up a positive payment history with us, that he would get a call from our traditional department and we'd be able to work on getting him a term loan or a line of credit that's going to convert his daily payment that he was going to take over into a monthly payment 30 days in.
Big step up.
This is a long toast.
Yeah. Well, good thing you have an empty glass, so it's not going to hurt your arm. So again, ladies and gentlemen, people are going to buy. They say people are going to buy from who they like. That's not true. They're going to buy from who they respect. Okay, if you're an expert at your craft and they're going to follow your guidance, you're able to put a correct roadmap in front of them. That guy that sends you that one deal, you show him a great result on that first deal. the waterfall is just gonna go. You're gonna get more deals. Joe's a firm believer in that. Get one deal done for somebody, and they're gonna expose you to more deals, and you're gonna get your referrals.
They're gonna tell their friends.
So again, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna toast to that. Again, I'm Daryl. I'm your host. To my right, the oh so fucking vocal Stanley. We got Sean over here to his right, newest member of Fun Rock Capital. And we got Joe Duran. Yo, Al, I see you on the camera tonight, bro. Yo, thank you so much for tuning in. Sarah speaks Pakistani. We're gonna get with Bengali, whatever it is. We're gonna get her on the phone. She's gonna talk to your client, bro. And she gonna button it up, all right? You guys have a nice evening. Thank you for tuning in. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you guys were here with us. We appreciate it. We just toast, guys. Take care.
Cheers.
Have a great night. I think we still
Get away from me.
Oh, no, we're still live. Until they turn it off, we're still live.
Yo, we still live. I feel so alive.
I don't know, Daryl.
Great job. You did great.